Hi, everybody. Ron Placone here. So, by now, there's a good chance you heard about the bill that Indiana passed in regards to discriminating against same sex people. This bill is controversial. It is discriminatory to the point where even Arizona said no, thank you. Now, Indiana definitely has some problems in its leadership, all right? And this is not a new thing. They could not agree on a time zone to save their lives. There are people in legislation that think Howard Zinn should not be in libraries. And due to geographical pride, there are people in that state that don't realize that John Mellencamp is terrible. And I understand the point because now what's happening is GenCon is considering leaving Indianapolis. They had an agreement with Indianapolis for a while, and they're considering going out of there because they have attendees from all of the states in the nation. They have attendees from different countries all over the world, and they're saying, look, we need a situation in a place where people feel welcome. And legislation like this that does not point to that. That is not very welcoming legislation. And also, now people are calling for stuff like the NCAA and places for that. Keith Olbermann was talking on that, where he said that the NCAA should break ties with Indiana and stuff like that as well. Now, first of all, I got to be honest, I understand the point of, if you're going to pass legislation like this in your state, there's going to be consequences, and some of those consequences are going to hit you in the pocketbook, which, let's be honest, that's what these people care about most. I get that. I totally get that logic, and I'm on board with it. However, on another side of this, and the reason this video is titled A Reason for Gen Con to Stay in Indiana, and keep in mind, it's just a reason, all right? But I live in Nashville, Tennessee. I know what it's like to live in a state that sometimes has things go through that really do not speak for you, that really makes you feel uneasy, that really frustrates you to know that at the state level things are happening that you tried hard to fight against that certainly do not represent you at all. I mean, it's to the point where if my apartment was made of glass, I wouldn't even be able to make this video. So I understand what that feels like. Also, full disclaimer, I went to Indiana University. I am a Hoosier. And so I know firsthand that legislation like this does not speak for everybody in the state of Indiana. It certainly is not reflexive of Bloomington, where Indiana University is. And I don't think it's very reflexive of Indianapolis either. And sometimes when something like this happens, people that feel alienated by this, especially people in the LGBT community, now more than ever, they need to know that they're not alone. And one thing Gen Con could do is they could say, you know what, we're going to stay in Indianapolis because we're going to let those people know that they're not alone. We're going to let them know that we realize this does not speak for the entire state. And maybe they could even dedicate a table to raise awareness, a table that might help out the HRC or other LGBT rights groups in Indiana to kind of say, hey, we don't like this. And a lot of people that are here and a lot of people that come here don't like this either. And we're going to let you guys know that you're not alone. Now, Gen Con is not obligated to do something like that. They have to look out for their attendees first and foremost. I totally understand that. I understand that comes first. And if they were to decide to leave Indianapolis, I would not say that they were wrong for doing that. However, as somebody who can relate to what it feels like, to feel alienated, I know if it was me, if something was passed in Tennessee that really did not speak for me, which does happen a lot. like Amendment 1 was recently passed here. I did as much as I could on my radio show, and I voted against it, and it still went through. And where I live in Nashville, it was a resounding no, but statewide. Anyway, I know what that feels like. And I know that if it was me, I would really not want like-minded entities and groups to flee Nashville or flee the state as a result of that, because, that's not how change is going to happen. You can't just be like, well, we're just not going to come here anymore. Sometimes you need to kind of stay and fight the good fight. And Gen Con is not obligated to do that, nor do I feel like it is their place to have to do that. However, maybe that is a decision they could make. And since they've had a good relationship with Indianapolis in the past, maybe there's some people that really need you, and you could consider maybe taking that route. That's just how I feel about it. It's not, I know some people are thinking, look, Ron, Chicago's not that far. Everybody can just go there. Like, no, sometimes you got to stay. Sometimes you got to fight the good fight. And I know we're all thinking it's too bad Leslie Knope isn't a real politician. This is Ron Placone signing out.